This is a tutorial for the dominant blend design. So you need 7 for crossweave 1, 7 for crossweave 2. So I've miscalculated when I was buying. So I'm just gonna fill mine up with them. But you need 7 and 7, so 14 for your crossweave layers. 10, that's gonna be my dominant colour, and 10 non-dominant colour. You're going to take your first group of 7 and create your seam. So, 7, bottom corner nail, tie it on. Take it along to the next nail, so the second nail. Take it straight up to the top, to the corresponding nail. You're going to go back 1 nail, down 1 nail, creating a square. You're going to bring it across to this corner. You're going to do the same pattern, but this time it's up 1, across 1, and down. Down to the bottom corner. Around these 3, making the same pattern. And back. And you're going to go around again, so twice for the seam. And back to the beginning. This is what you're looking for with your seam. So, all 4 corners. Now, instead of cutting it off and tying back on, we're just going to start the cross weave at the bottom. So you'll be going so it's exactly the same as when we do the cross weave at the top corner, but we're just starting it at the bottom. So when you've finished the seam, the pattern that you're going to do is down, across, diagonal, up, down, across, up, and so on. When you reach your top corner, you're just going to go around this group of 3, like so, and then you are going to come back following the lines that you've already made. So you're aiming for 3 times, so up, down, up, that would be 3 times. 4 times is better, but because with this design you don't need to save any of that to tie with, so you can keep going until it runs out. So mine actually went 4 times. 2 of the schemes ran out after 2.5, so I just tied it on where it ran out and carried on going with the rest. Now we're going to tie onto this nail and we're going to do the pattern for the cross weave going the opposite way. So take your next group of 7, tie it on, take it over to the next nail, across and down, and then over to the next nail, up, over 2 nails, down, over 2 nails, up, over 2 nails, down, over 2, up, over 2, down, over 2. Make sure you're constantly pushing it down as you're working. Just makes it easier for yourself. These are 100-gram skeins, but some of them are only 200 meters, and then some are 290. So it's best to use the same brand, and then they're all the same length. Again, I'm going to take this down, up, so 4 times. Show you again, when you get to your corner, you go around those 3, back, continue the same pattern, going along the lines that you have already made. So that's the seam, cross weave 1 and cross weave 2. Now it's time to add your pom-pom colours. So we're starting with the non-dominant colour, or the bottom colour. If you're not sure what I mean by them, then make sure you watch till the end before you start making your blanket. So I'm using all 10 at once. Tie onto the corner nail, peg, screw, whatever you want to call it. And you're taking it over, you're skipping a nail, taking it to the 3rd nail, and then you are taking it to the 3rd nail at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, miss a nail, wrap the next nail. So you are back up to the top, you're going to miss a nail, you're going to wrap 3 nails. Down, wrap 3, up, wrap 3. This is what you're looking for. So you're still making squares, but we're making bigger squares. So when I get to my corner this time, I've only got 2 nails, but because the basic grid pattern is already there, all you need to do now is follow the lines you've already made to thicken out your pom-poms. So you need to leave some of this to tie. You don't need much, but you don't want to run out. If you run out when you tie in, you're going to have to buy more. I don't need to save any because I have more pink. So I'm just going to continue in this pattern until they're gone. That's all the pink added. And now it's time to add the dominant colour. And we're going to be wrapping the nails that are not wrapped. So it sits on the top, but also in between. So take your second colour, your dominant colour, tie onto the corner nail. And we're taking it to the next nail. And then straight down to the corresponding nail at the bottom. Miss a nail, up the third nail, back to the top, wrap, miss, wrap. So you're putting a dominant colour in between your non-dominant. When you reach your corner this time, there's only one nail for me, but it doesn't matter because I'm still doing the 3 nails down the side and coming across to make the same square pattern, but each square will surround a pink cross section. This is what you're looking for. So I didn't save any because I have pink and I have brown that I can use to tie. But you will need, if you don't have any more of the colours that you're using, you will need to save some to tie it with. You're going to tie everywhere that the top is in brown, and then these in-betweens you're going to tie in pink. Okay, to tie, so I've started tying everywhere it crosses in brown, I've tied in brown, and my pink crosses tied in pink. So we're going to tie through this gap at the top and this one at the bottom. You're going to take your thread, 2 of them, all the way through to the back and bring it through the bottom. Then you're going to tie it, knot it, take your long piece, and this one's going through the bottom, and you're going to bring it out at the top. You're going to tie it, knot it, cut it off. Do that again without the explanation. It's all tied. So this first row of knots, your top row, the end, and the bottom row, these are the edges. This is the edge of your blanket, basically. All this is tassels. So on this design, if you want brown, pink, so stripy tassels, you would pull the brown away. This is after you cut your pom-poms. You pull the brown away and snip it in the middle, and you would snip the pink in the middle, and that will give you stripy tassels. I'll be cutting all of this off because I want this colour tassels. So on this design, to cut your pom-poms, we are cutting straight through. Dead simple. Cut all your horizontals. Cut every single one. On your edges, you've got the seam behind. You don't want to cut through the seam, so you need to separate your top layer and cut it. You want to leave the seam intact. You only have to do that on your edges. The seam is all the way around the edge. Everywhere else, you can cut straight through, and you do not touch your crossweave layers. All my verticals are cut. I've done all my edges. So the seam is intact all the way around. Now it's time to cut your verticals. So right in the centre. Cut every single one of them. All cut. It's time to take it off the frame. So this is finished. It's all tied together. You're gonna cut in between every nail. This detaches it from the frame. You're going to go all the way around. You're going to leave your corners until last. cut your corners just the same in between each nail. It looks different to when it's on a chair to when it's on a bed.